If you're on the journey to turning an important time-saving behavior into a habit, inevitably it's going to happen that you're going to work to do that and you're not actually going to end up doing it in a certain day. Maybe you forget to use the single touch rule when you're processing your email. Maybe you forget to use search, as in this case, when you're looking for emails, and instead you sort through with your folders and use some other mechanism for getting there. That is going to happen. And most people are shooting for perfection when they go to start a new behavior, whether that be exercising or eating healthy. They're looking for perfection, but perfection is not the goal when creating habit. It's consistency. It's getting back in the game after you fall off the wagon one time. And so imagine that this happened when you were, say, working on this behavior of finding emails, using search to find emails. And you were to say, okay, whenever you are trying to find a previously read email, select the folder you think the email's in, and go to the search bar and type any of the following that you can remember: the name of the sender, the email address of the sender, unique words or phrases in the subject line or body. Okay, so maybe you didn't actually do that. Instead, you just scroll through that folder until you found it. So then I'm going to hit no here because I actually didn't do that consistently. So it's going to say no problem, try again tomorrow. And when I hit OK here, what we're going to see is that my progress stays the same. I'm still at 9%. I've still mastered that first step, and it's going to kind of keep me where I am there. However, if I were to come back in 12 hours and say no again, that I didn't do it again, then it's going to actually reset my progress. So this 9% here will go down to 0, and I'll have to redo the first step. And this is based off of habit expert James Clear's guidance of never fail twice. And you might say, well, what's so significant about failing twice that isn't significant about failing once? And in reality, there's no hard, fast rule around how many times you fail that makes a big difference. However, when we fail twice, it does something to our identity and our belief system around whether we're going to engage in this behavior successfully. And it begins to convince us that we won't be able to be consistent in doing this. And so that's where we're trying to give you an incentive and a push to say, okay, if you dropped off once, if you didn't do it that one day, get right back in there and at least do it the next day. And so this is the key to building habits over the long haul. You can't expect perfection, but you can expect that whenever you fail one day, that you can jump back in and be back in there for the second day. So don't worry about missing a time, but as soon as you miss one, make sure to jump back in and do that behavior the following day. And remember to track your progress. This is the key to developing long-lasting behaviors. And if you haven't set up your prompts yet, prompts are going to just remind you of when to engage in that behavior. You go to your account here, click on prompts, and you can set those up there. And that way you won't have to use your brain to remember how to do it, but you'll be prompted to take action so that you won't miss more than once. You can do this. You can be consistent. Consistency creates excellence. Go ahead and jump back into those behaviors.